You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. You are just stuck in your head, stuck overthinking everything, every decision, every interaction, every possibility. You see, you are not failing because you lack talent or intelligence. You're failing because you can't stop doubting yourself long enough to take action. See, this video is for you. The ones that's laying in bed, wide awake at 2 in the morning, rerunning every conversations, decisions, regrets like a broken record. You smile during the day, but your mind races the moment you are alone. Today, we put a stop to that cycle. We are evicting those mental squatters because overthinking is not deep. It's just fear hiding behind the question, but what if? In this video, we're talking about the brutal truth about overthinking and how to finally break free. Why? Because you deserve peace. You deserve progress. And no, you don't need to think harder to get there. But before we dive into the psychology of it all, let me say this. Overthinking almost robbed me everything. It nearly kept me from my career in the US Air Force. It made me second guess whether I was good enough to lead, to grow, to serve. And yet, I still made it through. Over 20 years of active duty, while raising a family, while moving every few years, while constantly battling the voice in my head saying, "You are not ready, Romelio." I earned my first master's degree in organizational leadership and psychology while still in uniform. Then I earned my MBA shortly after retiring from the Air Force. Not because I had endless time, but because I learned how to silence overthinking and just start. Take one step, take another, and another. So when I say this stuff works, I'm not talking theory. I'm talking real life proof that if I can do it, you absolutely can too. But hey, if this message hits home, don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and smash that like button like it owes you rent. Oh, and if you want to take things deeper, check out this link in the description for this book, Stop Overthinking. It gives you techniques to relieve stress, stop the negative spiral, to declutter your mind, and focus on the present. It gave me the tools to break free from the mental chaos. It's like handing your brain a reset button. You can read it or listen to Audible. Either ways, your future self will thank you. All right, let's get into it. Before we can deal with overthinking, we need to recognize it for what it is. Because let's be honest, you can't fix what you haven't identified. Am I right?
That's right.
It's like trying to cure a headache without knowing what's causing the pain. You'll keep treating the symptoms, but not the source. That's why understanding what overthinking looks and feels like is the first step to breaking free from it. Once we know we're stuck in a cycle, we can start doing something about it. So what is overthinking? Overthinking is when you dwell on something way too much or way too long. It's replaying past events and imagining the worst case scenarios over and over until it paralyzes you from taking action. You see, overthinking is not intelligence like many people think. It's fear in disguise. Your brain is pretending it's being productive when really it's just scared to act. You're not looking for clarity. You're begging for comfort and zero risk. But that doesn't exist. No move will ever come with a guarantee. That's why it's called growth, not a refund policy. So how do you know when you're overthinking? You replay conversations from last week. You ask 5 people for advice, then still don't make a decision. You live in what if land, but never pack a bag and leave. And if you're like me, I'll be honest with you, I overthought things so badly. I spent 4 years trying to choose the perfect first video to start my YouTube channel. Probably about a year just for the title. Not the content, not the editing, just 5 to 7 words. Imagine that. I kept changing it back and forth like it was a baby's name. Like I had 9 months to decide. And while I was doing that, somebody else probably posted a video with less stress and got more views. Not because it was better, but because they took action. Meanwhile, I was still in my mental fist fight for a thumbnail. Like, what the flip, right? You know, most of us overthink because we've been hurt, disappointed, let down, rejected, humiliated. So we try to protect ourselves by thinking of every possible outcome. But let me tell you something real. You cannot think your way into healing. You have to live your way into healing. Let me tell you something about parenting and overthinking. I've stared at my sleeping daughter at 2 in the morning, not in awe, not in peace, but thinking, am I doing enough? Was I too impatient today? Will she grow resenting me because I didn't let her have cookies before dinner? And don't even get me started on school projects. I once helped her build a volcano for science class. Halfway through, I started spiraling down. Should we use baking soda or vinegar? Is it good enough? Is her entire future riding on this paper mache mountain of doom? Meanwhile, she was finger painting and thriving. That's the thing about parenting. We think they need us to be perfect, but really, they just need us to show up. Here's the hard truth. You don't need to have it all figured out because nobody does. Stop treating failure like it's a death sentence. It's not proof that you're not good enough. It's proof that you're trying. Now, being a military dad, that's a whole different kind of overthinking. You go from leading troops in formation to wondering if you packed your kid's juice box. I've stood in combat zones with full confidence and still panic over how to tell my daughter she can't have iPad before bed. So, was I too strict? Too soft? I even asked myself, did I just create a core memory that's going to show up in therapy 20 years from now? We laugh, but it's real. Military life trains you to predict problems, but parenting throws you curveballs. And I had to learn something important. Your kids don't need a commander. They need a father. They need a mother. Present, imperfect, loving. Okay, so how do we break the cycle? Let's talk strategy. First, use a decision deadline. Give yourself 10 minutes. Overthinking turns small decision into life or death debates. Set a timer. Gather the facts. Make the call. Because indecision is a decision and it's usually the wrong one. Next, try the 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 rule. And then just go. When you catch yourself spiraling, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Get up. Make the call. Hit send. It breaks the loop and forces action. How about journal? Brain dump everything until the fog clears. Don't edit. Don't filter. Just write. Once it's out of your head, your mind can breathe. You'll see pattern, priorities, and peace. Next, set a minimum goal. Perfection is optional. Progress is not. Stop aiming for perfect. Start with done. Write for 10 minutes. Walk for 5. One step, then another. And finally, take one uncomfortable action every day because growth lives just outside your comfort zone. Do the scary thing. Say the truth. Send the application because every repetition builds mental muscle and every action shrinks the power of overthinking. You know, you don't need a perfect plan. You need momentum. You don't need more time. You need less hesitation. You've spent enough time thinking. Now it's time to move because fear will always be there. But your courage doesn't need to wait for it to leave. From this moment forward, you act, you show up. Even if it's messy, even if it's scary, even if it's not perfect. Because action beats overthinking every single time.
Check out one of my first videos about overthinking and struggling to start.
Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy Romelio, and I am back for my second video. That's right, I'm a brand new YouTuber. And honestly, creating a YouTube channel has been something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I've got tired of putting it off and finally started my very first video. It's not perfect, but hey, it's my very own. But I realize I might not be the only one that's struggling. I bet you a lot of people thinking about starting something new, whether it's a YouTube channel, a weight loss program, starting a business, or simply taking a class, struggling on getting it started. Because honestly, starting something new can be hard. And that's what inspired me on creating this video, because I want to talk about starting. I want to help you start. So let's talk about this. Why is it so hard? Well, I realized that there were three major things that was keeping me from starting my own channel. Number one, because I was afraid to fail. What if my friends and family just laugh at my videos? What if nobody watches my video, right? So the second key item that I realized was I did not think that I was ready. It took about 3 years. I never did because I never felt that I was ready. And third, I've been waiting for the perfect time. That it felt like it was an excuse. Oh, I don't think I can do it right now because it's the holidays. I'm going to be busy. I'll start it after the holidays have passed. We're close to the summer. That perfect time never came. And so I realized that I've been making an excuse. And I told myself, that's not me. I might be reluctant, but I'm not a coward. I might have some hesitation, but I'm not a coward. And to be honest, a lot of people are not cowards. Being afraid and being a coward are two different things. So why should you start? For one, starting will make you feel stronger. That's because you'll feel that you have conquered your fear. When I started, I felt good. It felt liberating. And so because of that, I felt that I can conquer other things. I conquered my fear. What's next? Another thing, you don't need the perfect plan. When I was just getting ready to start my YouTube channel, I went through a lot of sheets of papers, writing notes. I even have a whiteboard to where I'm a basketball coach. No, bottom line, you don't need it. You don't need a perfect plan. I don't think there's such thing. All you need is to take action, which I did. So here's some tips. You ready for this? Some of the tips on how you can begin doing the things that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off. Number one is you can choose one small thing to do, whether it's for living healthy or weight loss. Let's use that as an example. If that's something that you want to do, how about go for that short walk? Start something small. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be far. Just do a quick walk. See how you feel after that. And then the next day, maybe go around the block a little farther, right? But one thing's for sure, you gotta be consistent. It doesn't mean that you started today and that's good enough. No, you gotta keep going. Be consistent. And the next tip is do not wait for that perfect moment. Just start today. There's no such thing as perfect moment. You're gonna overthink it. I tend to overthink. You can ask my wife. She knows. You're overthinking again. Just do it. That's right. And another thing that I learned is It's if it's not perfect. Like I said, check out my last video. It is far from perfect. In fact, you probably get a good laugh, but I took action. So I recommend, don't worry about it if it's not perfect. Just take action. You can make some of the adjustments along the way. So what I did with my YouTube channel when I was just getting ready to launch it, I recorded one short video and then uploaded it. I just wanted to see how YouTube Studio works, and hey, when I finished, I was like, hey, that wasn't so bad. That was actually pretty easy. Other examples for weight loss or living healthy. How about start drinking water instead of soda? Because your body needs water anyway. Soda's got a lot of sugar. You could say, how about I drink Diet Coke or Coke Zero? No, well, diet sodas, they have fake sugars that could be harmful for your body. It could cause cancer. How about starting a business? How can you get started? How about share your ideas with a trusted person? To me, if I have an idea, I like to talk about it with my wife, and honestly, that idea turns into a brilliant idea because as you talk about it, you can improve it along the way. And that certain individual you're talking with can suggest some or recommend some improvements, some minor tweaking. And guess what? By the time you're done talking about that business idea, it has already been enhanced, right? When it comes to learning, how about sign up for a easier course? That's gonna be credited towards something bigger. Perhaps watch some YouTube videos about the topic, about the course, about the educational goal that you're going for, and get some ideas, some lessons learned from other members that had went for that educational goal. Something. Bottom line, you just need to take baby steps to get you started. So that's one thing that I learned in my journey creating a channel, is I took those baby steps. And that's not only with creating a YouTube channel, that also applies to your day-to-day living. If you need to do something that you've never done before, just test out the waters, because every step that you make, it'll make you stronger. You heard that saying, what doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. Those little actions, it'll lead to bigger results. Honestly, another thing that I learned is don't worry about the mistakes. Mistakes will happen. I make mistakes all the time. But guess what? I learn from it, and you will too. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes will help you grow. And lastly, you gotta believe in yourself. Know that you can do it. You gotta believe in yourself, because it's only yourself that is really stopping you from achieving what you want to start. So, tell me, what's going to be your first small step today? How about you tell me in the comment below? And if you think this video helped you in some form, please like and subscribe. It can help your boy Romelio grow his channel, and together we can grow together. But anyways, I wish you luck. If you got further questions, leave me a comment, and together we'll figure it out. Thanks for watching, and remember, you just need to start today.